For example, if I go to a group of people that I know and deeply care about and know and deeply care about me, and we're having a meaningful one-on-one, they'll just be like, how are you doing? They genuinely care about how I'm doing. That's small talk, but they care.
So you as an introvert, if you're going to have any socializing, you want it to be real and genuine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Branches of Hope podcast. I'm Rachel, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, mental health specialist Tina Smith. Today, we're diving into social self-care, finding the balance between connecting with others and protecting your personal space. In part one, we're focusing on the spectrum of introversion and extroversion, how our unique personalities shape our social needs, and how we can create a healthy balance that works for us. Let's get into it.
What is social self-care and why is it an essential part to overall well-being?
Social self-care is being able to balance your relationships with the different aspects of who you socialize with. We have different environments where we need to either be social with people, or we need to recognize that we need to have a long time, or sometimes we're just alone and didn't even plan it that way, but you have to know how to be okay with being by yourself. So I guess socializing with yourself, being okay with yourself, as well as being good when you're with other people in different social situations. But understanding yourself and feeling a sense of, lack of a better word, a sense of balance, knowing when you are capable of interacting with others and knowing when you need to have a long time, and being okay when you are forced to be by yourself.
Why do people often struggle with finding a balance between solitude and socializing?
I think people find it challenging depending on which end of the spectrum that they're on, that spectrum of being an introvert versus an extrovert. Because if you lean one way, if you skew one way than the other, then you'll be pulled the other way. And when you're being pulled, that's a force, that's a pressure, that's something that's tugging on you when you don't want to go. And so when it's like, think about, that game, the tug of war game, where you have one team on one side and one team on the other side. Okay, and the goal is to pull the other team over. That's how it is. So like an introvert might be fine just, being sort of a recluse, being to themselves, but we're not an island. We're not meant to be alone. So you have to go out and socialize. And so it might be a struggle for that introvert. But at the same time,
it's a struggle for me.
Yeah. But then sometimes we have if you lean on towards the other side where you're more of an extrovert, and there may be a time where there's no one around, everyone's busy doing their thing, and you want to be around people. So you're struggling to be by yourself. Yourself is pulling, saying, hey, I need you to, take care of me right now. Just focus on me right now. But you might want to be around other people, but everyone's busy, or it's just not the right opportunity to be around, people for whatever reason.
Okay.
Struggle is real. So there's a balance. It needs to be balanced out, especially around the holidays,
Yeah, I have some leads, but because you did mention about personality differences, about a social spectrum of introversion and extroversion. So that's a big reason, like you said. And then I think another one is societal expectations. I think some people put pressure on introverts to be more sociable when we don't want to be sociable.
That can be the case, but I also think that, not to have anything against introverts, because I think I'm a self-proclaimed introvert myself, but society has made it easier for introverts to be introverts. Like with social media, for instance, you can sit and scroll and be to yourself and just engage in that and disconnect from the world. I don't resonate a lot with the extrovert, which is funny because I married a social butterfly.
Yes, you did.
So I think that helps to balance me. He balances me with the social aspect of my life. But it's not like, I do like people, I talk to people a lot, but I'm more better with a one-on-one than a group, So I think that's what happens with some of the extroverts. Like, you can have a good conversation with the introvert. If it's one-on-one, I think they have really good conversations.
Yeah, we do.
We do. But the extroverts are so fun to be with. And they're like, they could be the life of the party, they want to make sure everybody's having a good time. Oh my gosh, we need those people in our lives. They want to pull it all together and make sure everybody, then it's just part of it. Some of them that want to put the party together. Some people just want to show up to the party and like be the life of the party. But it's not just about being in a party situation, but just think about like people that do ministry, outreach ministry. I mean, that's the whole goal, is to be out within the community and be a part of the community and help the community grow. That's an extrovert personality, I think, would thrive off of something like that. But constantly being in that and not recharging. I think extroverts try to help people stay connected, which is good. You don't know? What you think?
I am an introvert with extroverted tendencies. So
what does that mean?
I can act like an extrovert when I want to act like an extrovert, but on the inside, I am the deeply introverted person.
Okay, so you said one word. You said one word. You say I can act like. Are you performing or is it natural?
It is like something I turn on when it's time to be around people. Let's put it like that.
So it's not time natural.
I'm like, it doesn't come natural. I'd prefer to just be by myself.
Okay.
But I genuinely want to bring my family together, though. That is a genuine thing. So I enjoy planning family events, with the people I know and love. I'm not a big fan of being in a crowd of people. I notice a lot of extroverts, they seem to get like charged up by being around a lot of people. And for me, I just don't. If anything, I get drained by being around a lot of people because I feel like I have to, there's that societal expectation to talk more, be likable.
Yeah, maybe that's it. You put too much expectation on yourself because of what you think others expect. So that's why I think a lot of people have anxiety when it comes to going out and socializing and being in public places, and because of what they think others might think of them, or it creates that sense of anxiety for some. And so then they have to muster up the energy and the ability to perform. Well, I was going to say, if you go back and say you were with family and you put it all together and then you reflect back at the times that you were able to, catch up with a family member that you hadn't seen in a while, or go back and look at pictures and see how much fun you had, and you didn't miss out. You decided to, okay, let me go and do it. Let me give myself a little bit of time to go and be with the people I love or group of friends and have a good time for a moment, and then you won't regret it, compared to I'm not going to go and you missed out on seeing somebody you hadn't seen in a while. So it could be a sense of regret if you find yourself turning down invitations.
Yeah.
But sometimes too, and I know some people might resonate with this, there may be a person that's there that you might feel like you're going to clash with. Yeah.
Oh, can't stand? Cannot stand, irritated. You see their face and you like, oh my gosh, they're here.
Yeah. So then you really have to put on that act, or you can decide not to go. We have to consider the environment that we're placing ourselves in. Okay. So if you're with family, then you might act a certain kind of way. If you're with your coworkers or your friends, it could be different,
Yeah, with family, it just feels natural. I don't feel like I have to put on any act to be more sociable. They know me. I know them. I feel comfortable. They know when it's time for me to draw back, and they'll draw back when they need to. Family is just, it's easy to, but it's not so easy for me to be around church family. Maybe let's put it like that. It's just not, I'll participate, and I feel like I have to try to be more sociable when deep in my soul, I don't always want to be.
I think that's why some people turn away or shy away from even going to church, because of all of the people, especially if they're not a sociable person, if it's not in their nature to be sociable and to have small talk and those things. I've heard a lot of people say, I don't feel comfortable around them, so I'd rather not go,
Oh my gosh. You said something. You said small talk. For anybody listening, I am not a fan of small talk. I just like to get to the point. Can we just cut the small talk out and Can we just say what we're really here for? But
I don't know. Well, you
I
know, you
hate
have to think
small
about
talk.
there's some people that I think are really good at small talk, and I think they balance out the people that don't care for small talk. So for instance,
Okay.
there's an event, there's a party, right? Where friends and family, people you know and don't know, going to be there, right? And just think if you went to this party and all you had were people at the party that are the get to the point people, then it's not going to be lively.
I,
So in a blog, I say, social self care begins with understanding and embracing your position on the introvert extrovert spectrum, right? We kind of talked about that. And you and I both feel like we're both introverts with extrovert tendencies. If you have the extrovert tendencies, that means you can be the social butterfly when needed. So it's a need. We can pull from it. Maybe we have a really good balance. All right. So I guess we're trying to address people that really feel like they don't have a good balance, right? Do you feel like you have a good balance?
do you think I have ADHD?
That's a whole nother topic.
Is something wrong with me?
Yeah,
Because
you said I could do both.
I
All right,
can.
so
I can do both. I can be extroverted
maybe because you're
when I need to be.
theatrical. No, when you
Yeah.
need to be. When you need to be. It is, taking a step back. I tell you what, if you were tired, if you were hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, you probably would not be a really good extrovert. So you have to make sure that you're taking good care of yourself in order for you
Mm-hmm.
to socialize well when the time comes. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
True.
So in the blog it says, both the social butterfly and the wallflower have their strengths, which are appreciated, as well as weaknesses that can present challenges. So, the introvert is challenged when they need to socialize. The extrovert is challenged when they need to have a long time. So, those are the challenges, right?
Mm.
All right, so let's start with the introvert. What does the introvert crave? It seems like the introvert. Go ahead. What you crave an introvert?
I crave meaningful one-on-one connection. I don't like small talk. I don't like conversations that literally are going nowhere. I like meaningful conversations, and we don't get that in our society. Everything is very superficial.
So what you're saying is okay. Well, I was going to go back to that meaningful one-on-one. So you're saying that we should, and you said society itself. So
Mm-hmm.
it's missing. It's like a lost art is missing. We need to incorporate that back into our lives. Those meaningful conversations with people.
Yes, because so far the depths of our conversation are very shallow, boring, and I would prefer not to partake in that. So I like to stay home just so I don't have to sit here and listen to somebody talk about the weather or, oh, well, what do you do for a living?
So when you go out, yeah. So when you're out and about, you're at a place where you're intentional.
Mm-hmm.
The meaning, the environment is all intentional
Mm-hmm.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the people you socialize there are gonna be the ones that you would have meaningful small talk with.
Mm-hmm.
If you could put that together, a meaningful small talk. Sound like an oxymoron, but a
Or
small
just,
talk that's meaningful.
okay, so for example, if I go to a group of people that I know and deeply care about and know and deeply care about me, and we're having a meaningful one-on-one, they'll just be like, how are you doing? They genuinely care about how I'm doing. That's small talk, but they care. Now, I go someplace, you don't know me. Oh, how are you doing? You don't really care. Okay, why are you asking me? If I told you no, I'm not doing good, they'd be like, oh, sorry. Like, and then keep it moving because they don't care. You can have meaningful small talk with people who actually care about it.
So they seem fake,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
genuine.
yeah,
Okay. So you as an introvert, if you're gonna have any socializing, you want it to be real and genuine.
absolutely.
Oh. All right. With that being said, Miss Introvert, introverts. Okay, I'm gonna go back and read this. It says introverts often crave a long time for the peace, quiet, and productivity it brings. For them, spending
Mm-hmm.
time with their thoughts and inner dialogue can feel like a spiritual experience. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very good for you to have that peace, that dialogue, that time alone, because probably recharges you, right?
Yes.
So, in contrast, extroverts thrive on interacting with others, sharing ideas, and spreading joy. So, you were saying you want it to be meaningful, your interactions with people. And so a meaningful interaction is more than just small talk. That's basically what we're saying. Engaging with people. You like to help out because you up in here the extrovert finds excitement in engaging with people, lending a hand, and being available when needed.
See, I told you I have extrovert tendencies.
You like to spread joy.
I do. Meaningful joy.
Meaningful joy.
I like to spread joy. I love helping people.
I think that's the difference too. It's like some introverts really don't like people. So that's not really good if you really don't like people. And that's deeper than just being an introvert.
I think that's a whole nother problem. I think somebody's psycho, something. One of them paths, I know. That's not introvert. That's a more of a personality disorder situation.
Not liking people?
I think something is wrong when you really don't like people. You don't want to help nobody. You're just evil or just mean.
Maybe just selfish. Maybe it's not mean or anything. And maybe it's selfish. It's like I just need to think about myself.
Then those are the type of people that don't need to participate in self-care because they're selfish individuals. They probably already take care of themselves.
That's all they do is take care of themselves.
Because they selfish.
That's the introvert. Well, but the extrovert, there are extroverts too that do not take care of themselves because they're so busy taking care of others and doing for others, and then they neglect themselves. So, what do we say about that? They have to find time. They have to find a way to start being somewhat selfish and thinking about themselves, and
True.
spend time with themselves.
That's true. They do. I'm an intro extrovert.
Okay, so now you're seeing how the extrovert thinking about the all the time. You flip flopping on me.
I know I'm flip floppy. Yeah, no.
All right, so
No, when you started talking about extroverts, I was like, well, some of it sounds like me because I do those things. So yeah, I mean, deeply, deeply, I am introverted. I know that much. I know it is a challenge for me to socialize with people because I feel more comfortable being by myself. And I normally get a little nervous when I have to talk to the people because I just don't know what I'm going to say. Or I just don't feel like listening to the small talk that is never going to go anywhere.
But the introvert though may lose out on opportunities because they don't get out and they don't want to deal with new challenges in life that requires being around people.
Yeah.
So they miss out on opportunities.
Maybe. Yeah.
So for instance, all right, so if we dig a little deeper into the introverted person, right? It all depends on by design, how are they an introvert? Are they an introvert because of anxiety, or are they an introvert because they just like to really be by themselves? So some introverts are introverted because they feel nervous around people, and so then they miss opportunities like maybe a particular job that would have been great for their skill set, but it might require them to be around people, so they miss that opportunity. I know some people that's just so afraid to even go into a grocery store when it's the busiest time of the day because they're nervous about it and they're truly introverts. So they just, they have to find the right time to go, and they might go late at night, but they make these choices because they're
I'm that person. I do not like going into the grocery store when it's crowded. I get, what is that? Anxiety, I guess, because it is too many people.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's too crowded. I'm going to hit somebody with my basket. It's just too much. And so I would prefer to go early in the morning or late at night without my husband or kids, by myself. Or, you know what? Better yet, I'd order offline and just pick up. Forget about going to the store.
Once again, I just told you earlier in this podcast, society has made it easier for the introvert to be an introvert.
Because of COVID-19.
But there was grocery shopping drop off before COVID-19. It just made it worse.
Yeah. But some folks was freaking out like, oh my gosh, we have to shelter in place and be home. And I'm like, woohoo, yay. This is great. Until my kids had to come home and I had to homeschool them. But
because you had to socialize with them, you introvert.
I don't mind socializing with my kids. I'm just saying, but teaching them, ooh, that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah, the little kids, yeah.
Yes.
But even so much of socializing is like we need a break too. We need a break. This is the gist of it, I suppose. Depending on where you are. So think about where you are on the spectrum. If you feel unbalanced, then which way are you leaning, And so maybe that's what because you're unbalanced, so you're leaning one way or another. So that's like not being balanced. All right. So what do? It all depends on where you find yourself on this balancing beam.
Wow, this has been such a great conversation about introverts, extroverts, and how understanding where we fall on the spectrum helps us practice better social self-care. The key takeaway: honor your needs. Whether that means carving out alone time to recharge or making space for meaningful connections, finding balance is what truly matters. As always, you can find resources at branchesofhope.com. The link is in the description. If you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Also, we're on Spotify. You can find us under Branches of Hope Podcast to stay connected. Join us next time for part 2, where we talk about setting boundaries, overcoming social anxiety, and strengthening relationships. Until then, stay connected, stay grounded, and take care of yourself. See you next time.